praying to make sure I didn't say anything that's going to be offensive. But in reality, I plan not to say anything offensive. But let me tell you what I thought about. One of the things that I've been doing is, as I prepare for this speech, one of my great friends, I play with his mind a lot because he has a wonderful mind. Brother Al Staten, who's sitting like in the 5th row with his wonderful wife, Teresa. He and I, due to the fact that his arm is incapacitated, I've been able to reach him via phone on a regular basis now. And I played with him about this speech about 14 times. I know my sister said that I usually bounce it off her, and I bounce some off Daphne. But Al and I went back and forth. And about 3 days ago, Al said, Rory, he said, close the book, leave it alone. Because every time I called him, I changed something else, and I changed something else, and I changed something else. And he kept saying, leave it alone, leave it alone. And I said, but Al, what about this, what about this? He said, Rory, leave it alone. And then I called Daphne, and I said, Daphne, what about this? She said, Rory, leave it alone. So I closed the book, and I put it in my suitcase, and today I took it out of my suitcase, so please bear with me as I go through my notes. I just prepared bullets because a speech, I think, is something that you talk to people that you have prepared, but I want to talk to you all because you all are my family. No matter where I live, even though I live in Atlanta, New Britain is where my roots are. And so if I can't do anything for New Britain, I can't do anything for the world, correct? Because I don't think I'm global. I'm no longer just New Britain or Atlanta, I'm the world. Okay, so one of the things that I thought about, I said, I was listening to different people, I went to different programs, and everybody was saying, what would Dr. King say today if he were alive? So I had to take it to different aspects. What would Dr. King say? First of all, he's 81 years old. You know, as we get older, our opinions become more entrenched in what we always wanted to say. You know, there's so many people that want to say things, but they didn't have the courage to say them, or the ability to say them, or the mere fact that they thought that they would be ostracized if they did say them. And as we get older, sometimes we say, okay, well, I've done all I can do right now, so I'm going to say whatever I have to say. But I realize that the younger you are, the more vibrant you are about what you're supposed to say, you need to say it at that time. Because then people look at you when you're old and they say, well, you're just speaking right now. You're just speaking out your mind. You know, that's what I'm always saying. People talking out their head. When in reality, they're talking within their head, which was really, truly within their heart. And they never really exposed that because they felt that who was going to listen to me or why would they listen to me? So I asked different people, what would you think Dr. King would say? And as I listened to the speeches this morning, a lot of people played the speech, and everybody was engaged in the one part. And that's the part that everybody doesn't realize. That Dr. King ad-libbed the I have a dream concept. That was ad-libbed in there. That was never really part of the original speech. And what they do is they play that part for you because what it is, it's a touchy part that gets you and it attaches to your soul, and so you feel it in the spiritual part of your body. But the real name of that speech was Normalcy No More. And what Dr. King and the 6 other brothers, Roy Wilkins and Brother Farmer and A. Philip Randolph and the other 4 names, the other 2 names I'm just missing, but they came to Washington, D.C. to tell America that as African Americans, back then you were called Negroes, but as Negroes we were not going to take the injustices that were applied to us because of the color of our skin. And so they came to Washington to tell Washington we were no longer going